Perfect.
Oh.
Hey guys, and thanks for clicking on the video and checking it out. So before we get this video rolling, I apologize if there's any wind noise, and also if I could ask you a big favor, go ahead and click that thumbs up button, leave the video a like, and while you're at it, just head on over, click the subscribe button, and ring that bell. That way you get notifications when I put new videos out, as if you're not a subscriber already, which if you're a new subscriber, welcome. So anyway, today we're talking about making your own brush piles, and you only need a couple things really. You can either make these brush piles for your own pond or your own lake, but if you are making it for your own public lake, be sure to check with your authorities there to make sure that it's perfectly legal to do it. I don't want to see anybody get in trouble. But today we're creating brush piles for my pond. And there's habitat in the pond, but I'd like to create some more. And you can never have too many places for your bass and your bluegills and stuff to hide. So you only need a couple things. Got a bag of Quikrete here, only a couple bucks, some cinder blocks from the local hardware store, and some brush. We have a couple of old Christmas trees in the back, and I went and trimmed some cedar limbs. You don't have to use cedar limbs. You can use oak or anything like that, but it seems like cedar, from everything I've been seeing, hold up better than any oak limbs. So we'll go ahead and kick this thing off and get it started and start making some brush piles. Okay, so we're going to start by filling up our cinder blocks with some cement, concrete. I like the Quikrete, it dries pretty fast. And of course, not all this is going to be a one-day process. Obviously, you're going to have time for your cement to dry and set in place. Just going to take the bag of cement and fill up your cinder block holes. You don't have to fill them all the way up because we're going to be shoving branches in there. And just repeat the process to all your other cinder blocks. So with Christmas trees, you're going to want to do things a little different. You're going to want to put the tree in the block first and then pour the concrete around it, or else you're going to have a hard time trying to get this Christmas tree in here. I like using the single blocks for Christmas trees. They seem to work out better that way, make a better base. But if you don't have a single one, for some reason the hardware stores around me are having trouble getting them in, you can just take a regular one or find an old one and just bust it in half. So that's what we're going to do with this guy. As you can see, so you're going to take our Christmas tree and go ahead and stick him in there like so, and then just pour the concrete in around it. And then it'll help hold it up too. And there's our Christmas tree block. So for our regular block, we're just going to take the cedar limbs and basically just stick them down in the concrete like so. If they hang over or whatever, it's no big deal. Just kind of want these things going all which way anyway. Just try to fit as many limbs in there as you can. This thing's looking good already. Just make sure they're down in the concrete real good. That way it'll hold the branch in there when everything's all said and done and dry. So even when these little pine needles fall off, you still have the branches and everything for the fish to get up in there and hide. I think that looks pretty good. Then I'll go around and do the other blocks, and I'll come back and show y'all. There we go. I say that looks pretty good. I can picture a nice big old bass sitting up underneath here, or some bluegills. Now I keep saying bass and bluegills, but these are awesome for crappie, or as we call them, speckled perch down here in Florida. These are great for crappie brush piles as well. I just don't have any crappie in my pond because I want the bass to be the primary predator, and I want to grow some big, healthy, chunky football-sized bass. And planting brush piles helps you achieve that because right now the bass are schooling. There's not a whole lot of brush for them to ambush from, so that's where the cover comes important for big bass. They can get up in here, and when small bait fish come by, run out and get them and just go right back here and wait. They're not burning any calories, and they're getting bigger and bigger versus having to go out and look for their food and burn calories. It'd be like us having to drive to the fast food place to pick up our food versus us having to walk there every day. We're going to get bigger if we take our car there and not move as much versus if we're running to the fast food place every day. You're burning off the calories that you just ate. So we want fat couch potato sized bass in this pond. So that's why we're putting this out. I'm putting 5 brush piles, 5 of these smaller ones out, and 5 Christmas trees out. I still have to go get some more cinder blocks and some more concrete. And we're going to put these in prime locations for fish to hang out. One of these brush piles are going to be right out in front of the feeder for the bluegills to hang around until the feeder goes off. And then we're going to put 2 in each corner for staging areas for bass during the spawning season and the post-spawn. And then the Christmas trees, since they're so much taller, they're going to go out in the deeper water, say like 13 feet, whereas these are going to go in the water that's a little bit shallower, say around 5-6 feet of water. And what's great about these, even if the water goes low and this is sticking out in the water, it's still prime bass habitat that you can work a bait over the top and get that top water explosion or real spinner bait through it, or flip a worm or a jig and this kind of stuff. It's perfect for that. And as the years go on, you just add more and more. Yes, they're going to dissolve. They'll probably last about 5 years before they just completely rot down, but you still will have a little bit, and you'll have cinder blocks too. The fish will still hang around that. So every couple years, just add more brush piles. So next, we're going to go get the water hose and help this concrete out a lot and wet it. If you just leave it out, if you have wet ground like what we got right now, it'll just naturally absorb the moisture and cure itself. But we're going to help it out, see if we can get this process to go a little bit faster and put a little bit of water on it. You don't want to get crazy with your water hose because you don't want to blow the concrete out, so you just want to mist it. And you can just spray it on the limbs of the trees. The water will find the branches and run down. You don't need a whole lot. You don't really need to see it like the bricks overflowing with water. And leave her out for a day or two, especially if it's a nice sunny day. It'll dry that much even faster. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm out in the kayak because I got the fish finder here. I'm using it to find the depth that I want, and I want to put it in this corner because this is a big spawning flat and a lot of fish spawn here. So I want to put the bushes here, that way when they're fry hatch they have a place to hide, and plus they have a place to stage up before they move up the spawn. And I'm looking to put it in about 5 feet of water, the bushes anyway, not the Christmas trees, because I know this water is probably going to drop about a foot during the summer, maybe 6 feet of water. But at the same time, you can see it's real light right here. The bluegills use this whole flat. So I got got my little marker I'm going to use to mark the spot that I want to put these bushes in. And right here is 5 feet. It comes up pretty quick. You can see all the little craters. It's like some bluegills already here from the looks of things. Yeah, they are. They're already moving in. Wow, that didn't take long. There's bluegill beds everywhere. Sorry, fellas. Woo! Look at them all take off. I scared the crap out of them. Well, that's good. They're already spawning. There's a big drop right here. So right here, hang on, get the kayak steady. We're almost at 5 feet right here. Where the kayak's at. 5.5. I kind of want to center them right here if I can help it. So we're just going to put the bushes on either side of that. So this little area right here will have a nice brush pile in it. Bye, bushes. Perfect.
Oh. There's an otter following us.
This is what happens when your lab doesn't get in the boat when you tell him. He still wants to go for a ride. Jake, you better head back to the bank, buddy. There we go. Last tree. Well, we get all the brush piles dumped out there in the pond. They're already starting to make a difference, and don't worry, I'm planning on dumping in a whole bunch more. So guys, I hope you appreciated the video. Hope it helped you out some and gave you some ideas to go sink some brush piles out in the water you fish, and help you give you a spot to go target and improve your fisheries. So if you liked the video, guys, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, go over there and head over there and click the subscribe button, and go ahead and ring that bell icon while you're at it so you know when new videos get posted. And thank you very much for watching, guys. Remember, I'm Joe. You've been watching Dinsmore Outdoors, and we do more than Dinsmore. Y'all take care.